I'm Jose Treasure. I live in Honduras, but I'm from Jamaica. I apologize that my speech is not as long as Brittany's. And it may be a little bit more sentimental because I found this one of the greatest experiences I've ever had in my life. By the way, it's my first time in summer school and my first time in doing something compared to this. This is amazing. And I think that all of you feel the same way. I'm going to start off with a quote again by the Junior States of America. It says, "Democracy is not a spectator sport." Well, last night, while I was thinking about what to say in this important and memorable graduation speech, some memories started to move around my mind. Do you remember the first day? All of us just came from long hours of travel. We're going through the multiple stations of registration, getting Stanford's fairly complicated internet system hooked up on our computers, moving into our dorms, finding out who our roommate was, and finding people to consider summer school friends. That was 3 weeks ago, on June 27th. Today is quite the opposite. It is our last day together, and we find ourselves present to honor our many accomplishments and to experience one more time the great hospitality that the Foundation and our fellow statesmen have provided for us. Today, our last day, we're here to say thank you, goodbye, and I will surely miss you. Well, before that day approached, many events occurred. First and foremost, we had our classes. Some were rigorous, some were a bit easy, some were something in between. Classes ranged from AP US Government to International Relations to Speech and Communication, Constitutional Law, and Macroeconomics. These classes were great. We learned new information, and guess what? We learned them from college professors who are highly educated in those fields. Isn't that an experience? Secondly, we had CW. Debating every day, stating our opinions, getting involved in the issues that we face as a nation today. Many of us came here without prior knowledge of how to get before an audience and give a speech. However, today, I'm sure that many of us are now certain that they could stand up in front of the entire United States and give their opinions just because of CW. Well, I think I'm exaggerating on this, but... Thirdly, our CAs, who always made sure that we abided by the rules and that we had a great time. Despite the fact that sometimes they used to get annoying with the no one have no service policy, or you need to be at floor meeting in 3 minutes, or your curfew is at 11 on the dot. They're really nice people. And we owe their excellent service to the people who overlooked them and made sure that they knew what they were doing. Dr. Casey Lanford and Steve Bain, Thank Mom and Thank Daddy. And last but not least, our friends. Isn't it nice to meet a group of extremely diverse people with extremely different backgrounds, different opinions, and be able to one day be their opponents in a debate, and the next day be their best friends? I find that a value worthwhile learning. So now before I hand over this microphone, I would like to do 2 things. One, give a hearted round of applause to our professors. Who I emailed every day prior to getting here, discussing my problems with the mail and the tardiness of all my papers. And finally, look to the person left and to the person right of you. And tell the person next to you, thank you, goodbye. And I'll surely miss you. Now, before I end, I would like to give a shout out to Father Juan. And let it be. So, thank you very much. This was amazing.
Well, Mr. Treasurer, on behalf of the Junior Statesmen and all of us here today, I'd like to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. Now, before you go, we want to ask you one last thing. What does it take to be a good leader?
Well, I was thinking about this, especially the fact that radio was our first person. So, it's going to be you asked the same question. I think what it takes to be a great leader, one, you have to have courage. You have to have the will to go up and tell people what to do, but at the same time, have support of all the people that you're leading. Two, you need to have desire to influence every single day, every single minute of everybody that you're leading. And three, have fun with it.